One of the lesser-discussed gems from Rubber Soul, You Won't See Me, captures a slice of Paul McCartney's life back in 1965 as he was navigating a strained relationship with actress Jane Asher.
When I call you up,
The song is subtle yet powerful, with layered lyrics and a melody that hints at the ups and downs of young love. Let's dig into what makes this track a standout on an album that, to this day, is a staple in any serious rock collection. McCartney wrote the song during a time when things were becoming complicated with Asher, and the strain comes through in the lyrics. Though they hadn't yet broken up, Paul taps into feelings of isolation and frustration here, putting his own spin on what's essentially a breakup song. Musically, he built the melody around a simple two-note guitar pattern, a descending E and B string progression that keeps the song light and approachable even as the lyrics get a bit heavier.
Paul himself has talked about how he just kept letting the note on the B string descend by a semitone while the top E note stayed put. He later added a descending chromatic bass line, giving the tune that classic Beatles harmonizing feel. It's simple but effective, a hallmark of Paul's songwriting approach during those days.
The song's lyrics touch on themes of emotional distance, frustration, longing, and helplessness. The repeated refrain, "If you won't see me," expresses both a plea and an ultimatum. The speaker seems stuck, unable to move on while still trying to reach a partner who won't engage. He's looking for some acknowledgement or a way to resolve their differences but feels turned away. There's a sense that the speaker feels powerless, with hands tied, trying to salvage the connection without any cooperation. This session was a late one for the Beatles. They started at 6 p.m. and worked through the night to complete the song in only 2 takes. One interesting detail is Paul overdubbing his bass line separately, trying to bring a Motown feel. Inspired by James Jamerson, the legendary bassist from Detroit, McCartney admired Jamerson's melodic, rhythmic style, which was a far cry from traditional rock bass lines of the time, and Ringo's drumming here is worth noting too. His parts were typically recorded with an Altec RS 124 compressor, a standard for Beatles' drum sound in those years. But here, there's a distinct tone to the drums that some speculate might come from a Fairchild 660, a compressor Jeff Emmerich would soon use on Revolver sessions. Whether or not it's true, the drums here do have a unique sound for the period. And Mal Evans, the Beatles' longtime roadie, also joined in on Hammond organ for this track, providing a single A note that subtly adds depth. It's barely audible, coming in at 229 in the left channel if you're really listening for it, but it's there.
Both the mono and stereo mixes were finished a few days after recording, done back-to-back on November 15th. There was no time to overthink it. They had a deadline to hit, and they managed to keep the song sounding fresh despite the crunch. There's a lot to appreciate about You Won't See Me. It's a simple tune at heart, yet filled with enough details to keep fans coming back. From Paul's unique bass line, inspired by Detroit's finest, to the subtle studio touches, it's a song that brings a lot of character to Rubber Soul. It's no wonder the album is one we keep spinning decades later. Songs like this don't age, they just get better.